Right guys, so jumping into RFactor 2, and with all the new content that's come out, like the touring car, the Honda Civic and the new Long Beach track, why am I in a GT3? That boring old Silverstone. Well, not boring, but you know what I mean, nothing new. The reason being is that the GT3s have gone through a bit of an update as well, so Studio 397 are updating slowly, it seems, some of their current content. So I believe the 2018 stock car, NASCAR, got an update, and so did the GT3s in the sound department, and a new tyre model as well. So let's listen to the sound. Very nice upshift. The flame animation out the exhaust is not great, I have to say. Okay, surely that can be improved at some point. Do like the sound though. The onboard sound is realistic, I think. Push the brake bias forward. The car feels a bit loose off throttle with the diff. I don't know if that's got to do with the new tyre model or the tyres starting to heat up a little bit, but kind of feel the car wandering around a little bit underneath me. Okay. Oh, the sound out the back is deafening. Sound out the back is deafening when you go into reverse mirror. Yeah, it definitely, whatever new tyre model they've got, it definitely wants to rotate a lot more off throttle. It's like the diff is very very open, or the car pitches forward quite a bit more. Either way, the rear is more threatening off throttle, if you like. It just feels very loose off throttle. On throttle, it can be a bit wavy if you're at the grip limit, like I am now. The back of it threatening but stable, but off throttle on turning, yeah, it feels good. Like, I mean, it's a bit of a, you know, obviously I'm not very used to RFactor 2 and the GT3s, but what I can say is it does feel like how you'd expect a car to behave. Like, you know, it's natural as a car. Just patient now, play with the throttle to get it turned in. Patience again, patience, wait for the front to grip up. Yeah, it feels nice, like, you know, it's quite good. So the tyre model does feel better than it used to. Sound is really nice, realistic, I think. And yeah, when you turn and brake at the same time, it gets all upset, as you can see there. Yeah, once the tyres kind of heat up a little bit, I do notice I've got a bit more grip at my disposal. But it's still engaging to drive, like, you know. From what I remember, the ACC version of the 720s is not as lively. Now, that being said, it is not my main car, and I haven't driven it properly in that sim in about, well, I haven't mained it in about a year. So it'll be interesting to jump in after this. I'll do the same track, same car combo, and kind of see how we get on. The curb hits are nice and smooth in this, where in ACC they're a bit more aggressive. Downshift protection in the car, which is all good. But yeah, this definitely feels nice as the... I just overshot that corner a bit myself. But I do notice that as the tyres seem to heat up a little bit, the grip does come in, and it is noticeable to me at least. Where in ACC, probably less so. And that could just maybe because I'm used to ACC a bit more, but in this it's definitely Yeah, when you brake and get on the steering wheel at the same time, the back of it does want to skip around, which is normal. It's a pitch sensitive car, of course. One thing I'd like to see added here would be the dashboard LED strip for the rev RPM. When you get to the top of the rev range like that in the real car, that strip goes either solid red or solid blue, or flashing red or flashing blue. And I've seen versions of both. ACC I think does the blue ones, but yeah, I'd like to see some dash stuff updated as well. Yeah, and that's one interesting thing as well. The traction control on that on this rather is it's definitely not as forgiving as ACC. On ACC, once the TC is engaged, the engine power will cut basically no matter what. Where I noticed with this, wasn't really the case. As we've seen, it just decided to loop around. The car itself though looks great, sounds good. It's definitely got a more natural sound stage than it used to have, a more lively one. You can definitely see a lot more roll on that car. But yeah, like I say, the new tyre model they're rocking here definitely feels convincing anyway. Like as to how a car with a sport suspension would drive and stuff like that. So yeah, let's jump into ACC and see what that's like. Alright guys, so here we are in ACC, in the McLaren at Silverstone again. Oops. And I forgot I've got a clutch active on this as well, so yeah, let's go for it. So how does this stack up against RFactor 2? Let's do the old sound check. Yeah, it's oh, the backfires, the overruns and stuff like that. I have to say I did like the smooth clacking in the upshift in RFactor, but this is a bit meatier, I think, a bit more visceral in the sound department, but whatever. Let's get into the actual driving. Yeah, I used to main this car in ACC a long time ago, and it does feel a bit alien to me lately. I've driven the Honda and the Audi, alright, have been the last two kind of cars I've driven, if you like. So this does feel a bit weird. Still a bit, oh, it's a bit more twitchier than I remember. The traction control is very forgiving. It's like even on the lower settings it won't let you loop the car around. It's kind of like how much will allow you to slide, but it's not going to break the rear completely even if you're aggressive and stupid with the throttle. Even there, like, I mean, I'm just standing on the throttle first gear. I'll stand on it again. Yeah, it's so forgiving, like, you know, it's, no, I mean, is it like that in real life in the car? I don't know. I don't have one of these to hop into every weekend, to be honest, so I'm not quite sure, but, you know, assuming that these are, like, gentleman race cars for, you know, any guy to be able to drive, you know, you'd assume that, you know, the TC systems on them are quite, let's say, safe. But if you get a bit silly on the brakes like I did there, you can definitely suffer the fate of that snap on the entry, and obviously messing around with the brake bias a bit will make that more prevalent. Yeah. You know, strangely enough, it seems a bit It feels similar, and I didn't think it would. It feels very similar to RFactor, but I didn't think it would at all. It has the same traits and behaviours, this car versus the one in RFactor 2. And I'm surprised by that. I honestly remembered this to be a lot different than ACC. But the threat of snap on the entry is there. You can probably see me making little corrections. The main difference obviously is the strength of the traction control system. You'll see there that it just allows a bit of slip but won't let it loop around completely. But if I let me just up the TC by a few clicks, put the TC on 6, and you know, I'm sure coming out of the corner now, like, I'll just get no power down whatsoever. I'll stand on it coming out of this last corner here just to maybe show the point. Yeah, just, it's very friendly. It just won't give any hint of a slip at all. You notice as well with the RPM lights on the dash, the way they change blue at the end of the rev count, which is what I kind of said that I'd like to see in RFactor. But yeah, I have to say it's could invalidate lap. I have to say, like, it does feel strikingly similar. I think the setup on this is just a little bit safer. It's not as pitch sensitive, but again, that's just in setup. What I'm looking for here is the actual character of the car, what the car wants to do outside of how it's actually set up, and it feels, the DNA of the car, the physics if you like, feel strikingly similar. And yeah, as I say, I didn't think they would. Even the feedback is giving me similar things at similar times in similar situations, if that makes sense. The only thing that is different, and you probably noticed that when I hit a curb or tip a curb, ACC does that. It's not as bad. It's not as bad in RFactor 2, but in ACC when you hit a curb, it's like dropping a nuclear bomb on the track. Now, you know, all right, I yeeted that curb pretty bad, but you know, in general, it is one of the, let's say, downsides of ACC is that curb interaction. Now, that is supposed to be getting sorted, we believe, in their version 1.9, which is going to be out sometime the next month or two, I believe, or at least we're expecting it to be. And that's supposed to go some way to fix that curb bumpiness. So the Ferrari that's known to be pretty bad over curbs should be all sorted. But anyway, I mean, yeah, the updates in the tyre model in RFactor 2, in my opinion, have gotten it very close to ACC. Yes, they feel a little different, and you know, the force feedback, they're obviously on different physics to a point, right? But the character of the car, how it wants to behave naturally, I can feel it doing the same stuff at the same type of corners with the same steering input, the same braking input. It just does it to a lesser or greater extent, and I can feel that in the setup. Like in RFactor 2, the car actually felt a lot softer. In this, I know this is running a stiffer setup, and it doesn't do what it done in RFactor as much because it's stiffer, it's more controlled, you know. And yeah, I mean, good, yeah, brilliant stuff. I mean, they've you know, RFactor have gotten it closer to ACC and how it handles. So that new tyre model, I think they're doing it in conjunction with Bridgestone, or sorry, not Bridgestone, Goodyear, in RFactor 2. I think they're doing the GTE and GT3 tyre modelling with the guys at RFactor 2, Studio 397 and stuff. And yeah, in my opinion, they've got it very close to ACC. You know, does that mean ACC was correct in how it handles all along? I don't know, and I don't want to give an opinion on it. Like, maybe not, who cares? But all I'm saying is, from what I've driven, the character of the car felt very similar. And to be honest with you, I think this would make anyone that is an ACC regular like myself, jumping into RFactor 2 should be an easier leap. you know, on this car at least. I'm sure the other ones could be the same. I'll have to have a look at them, but certainly for this car on this track, there were more similarities than there were differences, that's for sure. Yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. Go do some GT3, have fun, and yeah, until the next one. Cheers.